Dear Patrizia.
Hi.
Hi. We are very happy that you accepted our invitation to the next European Shiatsu Congress in Kiental in September.
Thank you very much.
2023. Thank you. It's really a pleasure to see you and to meet you now.
The same.
Yes. Now I have a question for you.
Yes.
How does your background in medical physics influence your Shiatsu on one side and also your workshop you give in Kiental?
Thank you for this question, because it's very precious for me to explain why physics and Shiatsu can be connected and how it can be useful for the Shiatsu community to know a little better about quantum. Actually, this word sometimes, sorry, I'm a physicist, so I have to say, has been used not in an appropriate way, in the sense that if you talk about quantum, you have to know what you mean. For us as a physicist, the quantum physics that is connected with human being is the modern quantum physics that come from the application of some of the classical quantum physics principles to human system. So we are moving from the micro world to the macro world. So human being can be seen as quantum macro system, and this carries as a natural consequence a lot of different properties. So which are the ones that I like the most? For example, quantum physics, and when I say quantum physics now I mean the modern quantum physics, so physics applied to living matter, gave me the chance to understand why sometimes when I was treating clients I could see through the touch, or I could touch through my eyes. Of course, in alignment, that is the precious topic of our workshop and our congress, as you know better than me. And also that, and this is another aspect of the congress, in the connecting with the receiver, I call it uke and I am tori. In the uke toro, there is the mirroring factor, so we both receive and give.
Can you give a little bit more explanation about uke toro?
Oh yeah, I have actually the kanji. Uke toro is a verb that comes from connecting the word uke with the word tori, and it is very interesting because if you check on the dictionary you will see that this verb means both giving and receiving. So it is perfect for me, because in my experience I have been enriched so much by my receiver that I receive a lot too. So sometimes I am a very beginner student in the kanji world, but more I study, more I am enthusiastic about this. For example, another kanji that helped me a lot, passing from the traditional technique of my shiatsu that now I call Hado Shiatsu technique, is the kanji Shiatsu, the finger pressure. In the word pressure, you can distinguish this meaning of done in two different parts, but what I want to underline the most is the finger, because you can say pressure, finger pressure, but if you study the kanji finger, there is a part that can be translated as excellence, and the other part hands. So the excellence of the hand, I like to say, is the quality of our touch. So I would like to develop the best quality of the touch I can to be able to give a good shiatsu treatment.
So this is coming from the tradition, so to speak, the wording, but you discovered the connection to the modern physics also.
It's true, and this is my position between tradition and modernity. For example, in physics, human system can be seen as a field, and so when we talk about uke toro, is a kind of resonance between two fields, or even more, if we consider that everything can be read as field, there is at least another field that is what I call the big field, that can be seen as the healing key. And so, for being able to use in a proper way this concept, I, for example, change the quality of the touch, because in the tradition you have to be centered in the tanden. We all started using the hara center, but while I was discovering through the Weber and Fechner law that the best way of performing effective touch on human system is to lean with the minimal stimulus. That means in a very relaxed way. I realized through years of practice and hundreds of receivers that if I'm centered, for example, in my heart, the quality of my touch is able to be deeper, achieving the faster part of the key waves. And these are going back in physics. We can see meridian in their dynamic nature. We can talk about the wave pocket, or we can talk about the expression of every meridian on a spectrum of different waves lengths. And so there is a part of the energy that is very structured. We see the matter, but there is also a part of the expression of meridian that is very, very fast, very, very speedy. It can be that need the six senses to be perceived, understood, or we can guess about it at least. And so, it's very interesting that there is no separation between matter and energy. It's one unique expression moving in different speed. Mm-hmm. I use a lot this intuition of what it is meridian, and I also like to go in my kind of academic possibility, and I publish some academic article, especially the one that for me is very precious, because Masunaga said, please keep going studying about Keiraku. That means meridian, because meridian deserve to have a central position in the modern Shiatsu. So I, thanks to the help of two theoretical physicists, colleagues, a precious friend of mine, we publish an article on JAMS, Journal of Acupuncture and Meridian Studies, where meridian can be seen in the quantum field theory as a very special subject, or better is to say a very special process, quantum process, thanks to the properties of the biological water. So we don't have so much time to talk about it. Probably I will talk in some of my workshops. And finally, I would like to add that if you use a scientific language, we can really have a cross language connected with acupuncturists, with osteopaths. When I've been teaching in Chicago in the Zen Shiatsu school, I had as a student also this kind of professionist. And other experience of mine, it was when in formal days I was in the ESF, I was facing the recognition on a Brussels level of the Shiatsu in the EU, and so using a scientific language can make our profile higher in the political contest.
Great. Thank you very much.
It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.